everyone, this is Callie. Thanks for joining me today. As you can see, I have a really cute and colorful card that I've made using a stencil. Stampin' Up! Sells these decorative masks in sets of 2, and this one's from the Hearts and Stars set, and I am using Craft White Pigment ink. It's Stampin' Up's white ink, and I am positioning it over the cardstock there that's in crumb cake, and I am pouncing this white on because it's thicker and you want it to be opaque, so the circular motion kind of wipes away too much ink, so the pouncing really gives it a better white, opaque, and thick layer of white ink. So I'm pouncing it on, and I should have taped down my surface, but I think it worked out okay. So I'm going to clean up my area, my work surface, and I have to clean off my mask or my stencil off camera because I'm going to be using it again here real quick. So I am putting away all my inks and everything I used in the first layer, and what I need to do now is to let it dry, but to speed up the process I've used my heat tool to set it. So let your heat tool get pretty good and hot before you bring it to your paper to prevent lots of warping, and I am just making sure that it's nice and dry before I move on to the next phase. So now I'm bringing in my color, Melon Mambo, Tempting Turquoise, and Wild Wasabi. Here's my container full of stamping sponges. So these sponges come in rounds, and I just cut them into 8ths. And then I use a strip of white cardstock and staple it on. That serves as 2 purposes. It gives me a place to hold on to the sponge while I'm working, and also as a label for each color. So luckily I've already had these 3 colors used in the past, so I'm just pulling them out and they've already been prepared. I am layering the stencil over my previously colored cardstock, and I am moving the stencil down just a little bit and to the right. That way when I go to stencil on my color, there's still a little bit of white after I remove my mask. So as you can see there, I tried to sponge it or stomp or pounce on it the first time, and of course I realized that going in circular motion like I usually would with sponging would work better with the colors. So I am sponging the colors on in a circular motion, and as I introduce a new color, I am coloring over the previous color just a little bit for a gradient effect, and obviously it changes the pink to a purple color there with the blue, and that looks really, really neat. And now I'm adding the green, and it's my last and final color, and this color is really bright. I really love Wild Wasabi a lot. So once I'm done, I'm going to remove the stencil, and you'll see the white that's still there from the previous step. And since the classic inks are dye-based, they don't require a long time to dry, I'm bringing in some vellum cardstock for my sentiment, and I'm using a border stamp from Border Reds, and I am going to do some embossing. So I am trying to figure out what I want to do here, and I decided I wanted to waste less ink, and so I turned my vellum, nothing special. I am so excited because I got all of my acrylic blocks in from Stampin' Up. They are just high quality blocks, and it just makes a world of difference to me. So I pulled in some Versamark ink because I do want to emboss this, and I am inking up my border stamp there and stamping that on. And before I emboss that, I want to go ahead and add my sentiment, which is from the Crazy About You set, which also coordinates with these Hello You Thinlits dies. And I want it to say happy birthday. So I am going to go ahead and stamp the birthday sentiment onto this vellum. And as you can see, it's been a little bit since I stamped the border stamp on it initially, but Versamark is really sticky and it takes a long time to dry, and you kind of have to heat set it. So I learned this from other crafters, but I have my spoon in there with my container, and instead of it sitting in the embossing powder and getting all messy and having to spoon out my spoon, I used a cord clip to adhere it to the bottom of the lid. So that's a really great tip. So now that I have my vellum sentiment piece embossed, I am going to trim it, and then I'm going to cut a banner out of it and glue it with multi-medium liquid Tombow glue. And I am going to place the glue very carefully just over the black areas of this piece. That way the glue doesn't show through the vellum. So once I glue it on, I'm going to place it and then trim it with my paper snips. It's better to do it this way, to trim afterwards than to trim before, because that way you can place it exactly where you want it and you don't accidentally cut too much off. So I am cutting out the word happy now using those thinlits, and I decided to put some wax paper down before I did it. And so I run it through once, and I started to take it apart and realized it didn't cut through all the way. So I tried again. So this is the second time, and it came out perfect. And I'm just going to clean away all my scraps there and place the word happy onto the card. And I pulled out my little tweezers that my husband got me as a gift, and I've seen other crafters use it, and I think it's very helpful for really thin, delicate pieces like this. So I'm using my Tombow glue again, and just applying a very thin layer of glue so that it doesn't get all over the place. And that's it. It looks simple. I mean, it doesn't have a whole lot of dimension to it, but because of all the different colors and the techniques, it did make the card pop, and I really enjoyed how it turned out. And I hope you like it, and please subscribe to my videos if you like them. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.